Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Target Nursing. So friends, in previous video we have completed the topic pre-embryonic stage of fetal development, and now in this video we are going to continue our previous class and we will start from the topic embryonic stage of fetal development. So before starting the lecture, just do like, subscribe and share the video. Let's start it. So friends, let's start today's lecture with the topic name embryonic stage. As you all know that we have completed the pre-embryonic stage of fetal development in previous class. So the pre-embryonic stage was started from where it was started? From fertilization to till 2 weeks. It was pre-embryonic stage. And now we are going to study about embryonic stage. So from where it will be start? From 2 weeks to 8 weeks, because the pre-embryonic stage was ended at 2 weeks. So from the 2 weeks, now the embryonic stage will start it. Okay. So what happens in embryonic stage? In embryonic stage, that is from 2 weeks to 8 weeks, in between of 2 weeks to 8 weeks, means 4 weeks, 6 weeks, that come under into embryonic stage. Okay, so at age of 4th week, what happened with the fetus? That the embryo is about the size of pea. Now the embryo is about a size of pea. Okay, that much small the एम्ब्रियो वॉज ओके. इस टाइम पे क्या होगा, जो एम्ब्रियो होगा वो पी के साइज का होगा, इतना स्मॉल होगा 4th वीक पे. ओके, एंड अ प्रिमिटिव हार्ट इज स्टार्टेड बीटिंग. मीन्स what happens that a primitive heart is started beating at 4th week. Okay, a primitive heart means it is the development of heart that begins with the formation of two एंडोकार्डियल ट्यूब्स. ठीक है, ये क्या होता है प्रिमिटिव हार्ट? प्रिमिटिव हार्ट जो होता है वो एक फॉर्मेशन होने लग जाता है, हार्ट का डेवलपमेंट स्टार्ट होने लग जाता है विद टू एंडोट्रैकियल ट्यूब्स, एंड दीज टू एंडोट्रैकियल ट्यूब्स गेट मर्ज्ड. लाइक दिस इज the tube, endotracheal tube, and they will get merged and forms a tubular heart. They will form a tube-like heart, and it is known as primitive heart, and it is also known as tubular heart. Okay, primitive heart is also known as tubular heart because two endocardial tubes were which merge and form a tubular heart, and which will start beating at 4 weeks, and that is also known as primitive heart. Tubular heart is also known as primitive heart. Okay, and now on 4th week, what happened with the embryo? That the head is defined with rudimentary eyes and ears. Now the fetus, now the embryo is having eyes and ears. Means a small size of eyes and ears are now present in the embryo, and tiny bumps of represent arms and legs. Now the tiny bumps means very small size of arms and legs are appearing in embryo on 4th week, and the embryo also contain a primitive nervous system. Like previously, the embryo is consisting primitive heart. Now on between 2 weeks to 8 weeks, the embryo will also contain a primitive nervous system, and the head has begun enlarged. Now what happened? The head of the embryo become enlarged. Okay, and a cartilage skeleton has appeared. A cartilage skeleton has appeared on embryo, and a muscles have taken shape, and the skeleton has made up, and the muscles in the body of embryo has taken shape. जो मसल्स हैं एम्ब्रियो की बॉडी में वो भी शेप में आ गई हैं, उसमें स्केलेटन भी डेवलप हो गए हैं. और क्या क्या हुआ है? सबसे पहले तो जो है एट 4th वीक में वो पी साइज का था. नाउ फिर उसके बाद क्या होगा? इट वॉज जो ये साइकिल चल रही, जो ये सब चल रहा है डेवलपमेंट, ये बिटवीन 2 वीक्स टू 8 वीक्स के चल रहा है. ठीक है, तो फर्स्टली वो पी साइज का होगा, देन आफ्टर दैट प्रिमिटिव हार्ट स्टार्ट बीटिंग, एंड आफ्टर दैट rudimentary eyes, ears and tiny bumps of arms and legs were formed in the embryo, and now the primitive nervous system is begin form in the embryo, and head has begun to enlarge, and skeleton system will become, and muscles haven't taken shape in between 2 to 8 weeks. ठीक है, that much development has occurred on embryo in 2 to 8 weeks, and by the end of 8 weeks, okay, by the end of 8 weeks, what happened, the embryo is somewhat human looking. Firstly, at 4th week, it was look like and it was a pea size, so there is no shape of that embryo, and it was not means it was not identifiable that what kind of it is. ठीक है, but in end of 8th week what happened, the embryo is somewhat human looking. अभी जो एम्ब्रियो जो है हमारा वो ह्यूमन लुकिंग हो जाएगा, अभी उसका शेप बनने लग जाएगा, क्योंकि क्या है, स्केलेटल सिस्टम डेवलप हो गया है, मसल जो है उन्होंने शेप लेना स्टार्ट कर दिया है, उसका हेड बन चुका है, तो अब वो क्या लगने लग गया है, ह्यूमन लुकिंग लगने लग गया है एम्ब्रियो हमारा. Now end of 8th week में क्या होगा, also facial features are evident. Now the facial features were evident, and the most of the organs are well developed, and the most of the organs in the body of embryo will develop at the end of 8th week. Okay, so it is about what? It is about embryonic period, and the embryonic stage is started from 2 weeks to 8 weeks, and at the 4th week the embryo is the size of pea, and a primitive heart is start beating, and tiny bumps of arms and represents arm and legs, and eyes and ears were developed, and a primitive nervous system will develop, and head has become enlarged, and a skeletal has developed, muscles has taken shape, but by the end of 8th week the embryo is somewhat look like human, and the facial features are now evident on embryo. Okay, now what happens that we have studied earlier, that the end product of fertilization, what we are gaining at the end of the fertilization, that was zygote, and in what, in the pre-embryonic period we have seen that embryo has developed. ठीक है, now move on this second stage, third stage, which is okay. Now and at the end of 8 week, what happens, the facial features were developed, and the embryo is somewhat look like human, and development consists chiefly growth and maturation. Okay, and this stage, at the end of 8th stage, what will happen, the growth and maturation will develop in embryo, and the embryo is about 1.5 inches. Now at the end of 8th week, at the end of 8th week, the embryo is somewhat look like human, and its size is 1.5 inch, and in length, okay, and henceforth it is known as fetus. So as we consider that in the what, at the end of fertilization, what we are gaining, we are gaining zygote at the end of fertilization, and in pre-embryonic stage, what we have found as embryo was found in pre-embryonic stage. Okay, and now the embryo is developed into fetus, because it was the time between 2 to 8 week, and now all the features of embryo has developed very well, and the system has grown, all the organs were developed, and the fetus is embryo is look like a human, and now its size is 1.5 inches. So at the end of what, at the end of embryonic stage we will get fetus. Okay, at 2 to 8, at the end of 8 week, the fetus will develop, the embryo will convert it into fetus. Okay, so now we will see about the fetal period, because fetus were developed. यहाँ पे को हमारा fetus develop हो चुका है. ठीक है, फर्टिलाइजेशन के एंड में हमने जायगोट बना था हमारा. ठीक है, और कल जब हमने पढ़ा था उसमें हमारा एम्ब्रियो डेवलप हो रहा था, और 2 to 8 वीक्स तक, 2 से 8 वीक से अप टू वो एम्ब्रियो रहता है, बट एंड ऑफ द 8 वीक में वो क्या बन जाता है, फिटस बन जाता है। अब इसका डेवलपमेंट होगा। ओके, सो द फिटल डेवलपमेंट, देयर आर प्रिंसिपल इवेंट्स ऑफ एम्ब्रियोनिक एंड फिटल डेवलपमेंट. So this is from 20 till 21 days was, it was also including embryonic period. Okay, and from 8 week to till birth, it is fetal period, because the fetus has developed at the end of 8th week. Okay, so as I told you that 14 to 21 days notochord develops, ठीक है, ectoderm thicken to form neural plate and neural pore. So then what is notochord? I told you earlier that I'll tell you it later. So notochord is it play a essential role to develop vertebra, ठीक है, to vertebra in a human being or a human baby. Notochord play an essential role to develop a vertebra in human being. Okay, and at 21 to 28 days, neural fold fuse to form neural tube. Okay, the neural tube will develop. 4 primitive cardiac chambers will develop. First heartbeat on 21 day. And 4 to 6 week में क्या होगा, optic vesicles appears, complete neural tube closure, limb buds appears, formation of face. And now, and it is 6 to 8 week, all major structure form, complete ventricular septum. Okay, now the heart is completely developed, and till 8 week, at the end of week, we get fetus, embryo to fetus. And now from 8 week to 12 week, this is what, this is fetal period. From here, this is fetal period. Okay, 8 week to between 12 week, external genitalia develop. Okay, and 20 week में क्या होगा, skin is covered with linenjo. Linenjo is a hair that covers the fetus. Wernicke serosa is a white color things present in newborn baby. Okay, and on the skin it was present, Wernicke serosa and caseosa. And 28 week, testes descent into internal inguinal ring and baby viable. And 36 week में क्या होगा, one testicle descends into scrotum, lunenjo tend to disappears. And at 40 weeks में क्या होगा, जब हमारे डिलीवरी की डेट आने लग जाएगी, या फिर जब डिलीवरी का टाइम होने लग जाएगा, बोथ टेस्टिकल डिसेंड इनटू स्कॉटम एंड नेल्स प्रोजेक्ट बियॉन्ड फिंगर टिप्स. ठीक है, दिस वाज द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ फिटस फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर. This is the development of fetus. In this notes, I have given you very briefly, but in books I have given very deeply. So if you are studying for the examination purpose, so you will refer the book, and this is for only your understanding purpose. So this is all for today. I hope you can understand it now. But we have seen today, we have seen embryonic stage of fetal development. Okay, and the embryonic stage is started from 2 weeks to 8 week. Okay, and at the end of 8th week, what happens, the fetus will develop. Okay, and this is what, at the end product of fertilization we are gaining zygote, and in fetal and pre-embryonic stage we are gaining embryo, and at the end of embryonic period we are gaining fetus. Okay, then the fetal development and the fetal stage was started from 8 weeks to till birth. This is fetal period. Okay, so here this is very brief, I have taken from a book, but if you want to study deeper, so you can refer the other books. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you. So friends, with this we have completed the topic development of zygote, and we have completed all 3 stages of it, which is pre-embryonic period, embryonic period and fetal period. In next video we will move to our next topic, which is normal labor, and it is very important topic, so we will start it in next video. And before going, don't forget to give the feedback of this video in comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Thank you.